3 years. That's how long I waited for him. 3 years of working at the same restaurant, living in the same apartment, walking the same routes to work. I was a ghost haunting my own life, waiting for the moment he'd come back and make me real again. But when he finally walked through that door, I realized something that broke me. He wasn't coming back to save me. He was coming back because his world was falling apart. And I was the only person left he could trust. And trust, as I was about to learn, was a luxury neither of us could afford. If you've ever loved someone so much that you couldn't walk away, even when every bone in your body screamed that you should, hit subscribe. Because this is a story about a man who chose power over love and a woman who chose love anyway, and what happens when those two choices collide. And the ending will destroy you. I'm carrying 3 plates of bibimbap when I feel it. It's like the temperature drops 15 degrees, like the air itself gets thinner. Every single person in the restaurant feels it too. The old man at table 6 stopped talking mid-sentence. The mother with her 2 kids freezes with her spoon halfway to her mouth. Even the kitchen goes quiet. And the kitchen is never quiet. I don't need to look up to know who just walked in. My body already knows. My body has been waiting 3 years for him to walk through that door, and it recognizes him before my brain catches up. But I look anyway. He's standing in the entrance wearing a black suit that probably cost more than my car. His face is the same face I've been seeing in my dreams every single night for 1,095 days, except it's different. Sharper, harder. Like someone took the man I loved and refined him into something that cuts. His name is Jun-seo, James Jun-seo Park. Half Korean, half black, completely mine until he decided he wasn't. We look at each other across the restaurant, and 3 years collapse into nothing. Then he walks toward me. I set down my plates. My hands are shaking. This is unprofessional. Mr. Kim will notice. But Jun-seo is walking toward me like he's crossing a battlefield. Like every step costs him something, and I can't move. "Hi," he says when he reaches me. "Hi," I repeat, like I'm learning the word for the first time. "You're still here." It's not a compliment. It's an observation, and it lands like an accusation. I'm still here. I didn't move on. I didn't build a new life. I stayed in this restaurant, in this neighborhood, on this street corner where we used to have coffee, waiting for him to come home. "You said you'd come back," I tell him. "I know." "And then you didn't." "I know." We're having this conversation in the middle of a restaurant full of people, and nobody is looking at us, but they're all looking at us. The electricity is visible. The history is written on our faces. "I need to talk to you," he says. "Can you take a break?" I should say no. I should tell him to leave. I should protect the small life I've built, the fragile equilibrium of a person who learned to survive by not hoping. Instead, I say, 10 minutes. We go to the storage room. It smells like dried chilies and old cardboard and promises nobody kept. He closes the door behind us, and the world shrinks to just the 2 of us and everything that went wrong between his last day in LA and today. "Why are you here?" I ask. "Because I had to see you." That's not a reason. It's the only reason that matters. He reaches for my face, and I let him. His thumb touches my cheekbone like he's checking to see if I'm real, and I'm about to fall into him, about to pretend the last 3 years didn't happen, when I notice something, There's a gun underneath his jacket. Not a possibility. Not a maybe. A visible, black, absolutely real gun in a shoulder holster against his ribs. I step back. You're armed, I say. Yes. In my workplace. Yes. Why? He doesn't answer immediately. That's when I know something is wrong. Something is very wrong. Are you in danger? I ask. No. Is someone chasing you? He takes a breath, and I watch him make a decision about how much truth to tell me. My family business finally caught up with me, he says, and I had to decide whether to run or come home. I chose to come home. Your family business. I repeat the words like they mean something, like they're not the thing that took him away from me 3 years ago. Yes. Jun-seo, are you involved in? Yes. He answers before I can even finish the question. Yes, he's involved. Yes, he's part of it. Yes, the man standing in front of me is something darker than the man who left. Get out, I say. Listen to me. No, you get out of this restaurant. You get out of my life. You come back here carrying a gun, talking about family business, looking like someone who's run from something dangerous, and you want me to listen? Get out, Jun. He doesn't move. I came here because I knew you'd be here, he says quietly. I came here because you're the only person in the world who knows me before I became this, and I came here because I need your help. Help? I echo. What kind of help? The kind that requires you to trust me. And that's when I laugh. Actually laugh because it's absurd. He disappeared for 3 years. He shows up with a gun. He says his family business caught up with him, and he wants me to trust him. No, I say. Absolutely not. Whatever it is, whatever you need, no. You don't even know what I'm asking. I don't care what you're asking. But I do care. I care so much that it's breaking me. I can feel it happening. The part of me that's been frozen in time since he left is starting to thaw. And it hurts. It hurts so much that I can't breathe. My sister lives in this neighborhood, I say, my voice shaking. My friends work in this neighborhood. I have a life here, a small life, but it's mine. And I'm not going to let you destroy it because you made choices that came back to bite you. Maya. Don't say my name like you know me. Don't say my name like you love me. You made your choice when you got on that plane. You made it every single day that you didn't call. Every single day that you didn't come back. So whatever you need, whatever you came here for, find someone else. I reach for the door. I'm not running, he says. I came back because I'm done running. I stop with my hand on the door frame. What do you mean? The organization in Korea is fracturing. My uncle is moving against me, and if I don't make a move first, I'm going to lose everything, and he's going to use you to make sure of it. The door is still in my hand. The kitchen is still beyond it. My life is still out there, waiting for me to come back. He knows about me. I whisper. Yes. How? Because I've never been careful about loving you. Because even when I was trying to disappear, I couldn't. Because your address, your workplace, your habits, they're all in files that exist now. And my uncle knows how to read files. I'm not getting involved in your world, I say. I can't. I'm not asking you to be involved. I'm asking you to disappear. Disappear? For 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. Let me handle something and then you can come back. And if I don't? He doesn't answer. But I already know the answer. If I don't disappear, if I stay visible, if I keep working at this restaurant in this neighborhood, I become a target. I become leverage. I become the thing they use to break him. So I'm trapped, not by him, by his world, by the choices he made that bled into my life without my permission. I need to think, I say. You don't have time to think. You have to leave tonight. Tell me in the comments right now, would you disappear for someone you don't even trust anymore? Would you give up your entire life based on a man's word? Because Maya is about to make that choice, and she has no idea that disappearing with him is going to expose secrets that will destroy everything she thought she knew about her own life. I text my sister from the employee bathroom. Can't explain now. Going away for 2 weeks. Don't ask questions. I'm safe. I promise. She calls immediately. I don't answer. Mr. Kim doesn't even try to stop me when I walk out during the dinner rush. He just watches me go, and something in his expression suggests he's not surprised. Something in his expression suggests he might already know about Jun-seo. Something in his expression suggests everyone in this neighborhood already knows more than I do. That's when the first twist hits. Jun-seo is parked 3 blocks away. There's a car following him. Black sedan, 2 men in the front seat. I see them when he points them out, and my stomach drops. Are they your people? I ask. No, they're my uncle's. So we're running? We're being strategic. He drives through the city streets without seeming to rush, and I'm watching the black sedan in the side mirror getting closer. And I'm realizing that this is real. This is actually happening. The man I loved is taking me somewhere, running from people, carrying a gun. And I'm complicit now. I'm part of his world whether I want it to be or not. Where are we going? I ask. Somewhere safe. That's not an answer. It's the only answer I have. He takes me to a hotel in downtown LA. The kind of hotel where they don't ask questions. The kind where the clerk barely looks at us when he checks in, and they definitely don't ask for ID. The room is small and impersonal. There's a window overlooking the street. There's a bed I don't want to think about. There's a television that plays the news in muted silence. Jun-seo stands by the window, watching the street below, and he looks like a man who's used to being hunted. How long have you been involved in this? I ask. Since I went to Korea. 3 years? Yes. And you couldn't tell me? He finally turns from the window. His eyes are tired in a way that suggests he hasn't slept properly in months. Telling you would have put you in danger. I'm in danger anyway. Not like you would have been if you'd known. As long as you could credibly say you didn't know anything, you were protected. The moment you knew, actually knew, you became a threat. So I'm here because your uncle doesn't believe I don't know anything anymore. Yes. I sit on the bed, and it's softer than I expected. Everything about this moment is softer than it should be. We should be having this conversation while running. We should be terrified. Instead, I'm sitting on a hotel bed that probably costs less than his shoes. And he's looking at me like he's memorizing my face again, and I'm realizing something that breaks me even more. He's not planning to come back with me. You're leaving, aren't you? I say. Eventually. After you handle whatever you came here to handle? Yes. And then what? You disappear again? For another 3 years? He moves toward me. And I should move away, but I don't. He sits down next to me on the bed, and the proximity is excruciating. 3 years of missing him. And now he's right here. And he's already leaving. I'm trying to build something, he says. Back in Korea, something that allows me to not be there every second. Something that gives me room to actually have a life. A life with me? If you'll have me. You don't get to ask me that. You don't get to come back, drag me into this nightmare, and ask me to forgive you for 3 years of silence. I know, he says. But I'm asking anyway. Before I can respond, his phone rings. He silences it. It rings again. Again, he silences it. The third time he answers. He speaks in Korean and I catch words. Uncle, situation tonight, necessary. His jaw clenches. His free hand makes a fist. Whatever's happening, it's bad. When he hangs up, he's different. The facade of control is gone. What? I ask. We need to move. Move where? Out of the city. My uncle is coming to LA himself. That doesn't happen unless he's made the decision to handle something personally. Handle? You mean kill? He doesn't deny it. How long do we have? I ask. A few hours, maybe less. I look around the hotel room. Everything I own is in the apartment 3 miles away. My job is gone. My life is gone. And the man who destroyed it is standing in front of me, asking me to trust him. There's a knock at the door. Jun-seo moves toward it with his hand inside his jacket. I watch him check the peephole, and I watch his entire body go rigid. Don't move, he says to me. He opens the door. A woman is standing in the hallway. She's in her 50s with salt and pepper hair, wearing a black coat, and she's looking at me with eyes that are so familiar that I stop breathing. Hi, Maya, she says in a Black American accent that matches my own. My name is Linda. I'm Jun-seo's mother, and I need to tell you some things that he's been too much of a coward to tell you. His mother looks at me like she can see through everything I'm pretending not to be. You didn't know he was coming back, did you? She says. It's not a question. I didn't. And he told you about the organization? Yes. But he didn't tell you why he's really here. Jun-seo steps between us. Mom. Don't mom me. She deserves to know the truth. She pushes past him into the hotel room. And I'm watching this happen like I'm not really here. Like I'm watching someone else's life implode on a television screen. 3 years ago, Linda says, sitting on the edge of the bed like she has every right to be here. My son made a deal with the devil. He agreed to take over my brother-in-law's position in the organization in exchange for my life. I look at Jun-seo. What does that mean? I ask. It means, Linda continues, that I was dying. Cancer. The doctor said 6 months. And my brother-in-law said he would take care of me, pay for the best treatment, make sure I got to see my son grow up, if my son agreed to come back to Korea and take over the family business. You're not dying, I say, looking at Jun-seo. You wouldn't be here if... She's in remission, Jun-seo says quietly. It's been 3 years and she's in remission. Which is why, Linda says, my son spent 3 years building an empire he never wanted, making decisions that killed people, becoming someone he hates, all so I could live. And now my brother-in-law wants his investment back. He wants leverage. He wants to make sure that Jun-seo never tries to step away from the organization again. How is he going to do that? I ask, but I already know. Through you, Jun-seo says. He's going to use you as collateral, as proof that I'm compromised, that I can't be trusted with the kind of power I have because I'm too in love with someone to make rational decisions. Why didn't you tell me? I ask him. Because if you knew about my mother, if you knew that I did this for her, you'd feel obligated to accept it. You'd feel like you owed me forgiveness because my sacrifice was noble, and I didn't want forgiveness that came from obligation. So instead, you wanted forgiveness that came from nowhere. From me just deciding to trust you after 3 years of silence and a man showing up at my workplace with a gun. I wanted forgiveness that came from you remembering who I was before all of this. Linda stands up. We need to leave now. There's a car waiting. Mom? Jun-seo starts. No, she's right. We're going. Both of us. Right now. The next hour is a blur. We leave the hotel through a kitchen exit. There's a car waiting, and it's not Jun-seo's car. The driver is a woman with bleached blonde hair and tattoos on her neck, and she doesn't ask questions. We drive north on the 405, and I'm watching LA disappear in the side mirror. And I'm thinking about how quickly a life can be taken from you. How a person can be erased by circumstances that have nothing to do with their choices. At a rest stop in Ventura, Linda buys us coffee. Jun-seo goes to the bathroom. For the first time, I'm alone with his mother. He loves you, she says. More than he loves the organization. More than he loves power. More than he loves himself. He has a weird way of showing it. I know. He inherited that from his father. Men in our family confuse sacrifice with love. They think that making themselves miserable is the same as taking care of someone. She stirs her coffee with a plastic stick. What's going to happen? I ask. That depends on you. On me? My brother-in-law is coming to LA to eliminate any complications in his relationship with Jun-seo. If you're not here, if you don't exist in his world anymore, he won't bother with you. So I'm supposed to leave him. I'm supposed to tell you that's an option. I look at Linda, this woman who is Jun-seo's mother, who got sick, who lived, who started all of this by needing to be saved. And I see something in her that I recognize. I see someone who made a choice that hurt everyone around her because she was afraid of dying. Did he ask you to come? I ask. To tell me this? To give me an out? No, he'd never ask me to do his dirty work. But I'm his mother. And sometimes mothers have to be cruel on behalf of people we love. We drive to a house in Ojai. It's a small house, nothing fancy. The kind of place that exists outside of normal life. The kind of place where people disappear. Jun-seo's uncle is already there. He's waiting on the porch like he owns the place. And maybe he does. He's wearing white linen, which seems insane for someone about to commit murder. But I'm starting to understand that these men don't see things the way normal people do. When he smiles at me, I see where Jun-seo gets his cheekbones. Maya, he says like he's known me forever. Welcome to the family. I'm not part of your family. Not yet, but you're going to be. Jun-seo just doesn't know it yet. He gestures for Jun-seo and me to sit. Linda disappears inside the house. The driver waits by the car. And suddenly it's just the three of us. And I understand that everything that's happened so far was just prologue. My nephew loves you very much, his uncle says. It's his fatal flaw. Love is a weakness in our business. It makes you predictable. It makes you vulnerable. Then let me go, I say. Let him do whatever he needs to do without me as a complication. That's not how this works. If I let you go, He'll spend the rest of his life trying to get back to you. He'll be distracted, unreliable, a liability. He leans forward. But if you stay, if you understand what his life is, if you accept what he's chosen, then I can use that. I can tell the organization that my nephew is fully committed, that he's not just playing at being a crime boss, that he's willing to sacrifice his humanity for power. And I'm the proof of that sacrifice. You're the proof that he's one of us now. Jun-seo stands up. She's leaving with Linda. You can do whatever you want to me, but she's going. His uncle stands up too. No, she's not. He pulls a gun from his waistband. It's casual, like he's reaching for a cigarette, and suddenly the porch is very quiet, and I'm realizing that I'm about to watch Jun-seo die because he loves me. Don't, I say. Everyone looks at me. Don't do this, I tell Jun-seo. Don't die for me. Don't make me carry that weight. I'm not letting him. I'll stay, I say, and I mean it. I say it before I can think about it, because thinking about it would make me a coward. I'll stay, and I'll do whatever he wants. But you have to promise me. You have to actually leave. You have to step away from the organization. You have to build the life you've been talking about. That's not possible, Jun-seo starts. Make it possible, I tell him. Take what you've built and use it to leave. Use the network, the money, the connections. Use all of it to get away from this. For real this time. His uncle laughs. She's smarter than you, boy. And you, I say to his uncle, turning to face him. You've already won. He's yours now. He's proven that he's willing to do whatever it takes. So let him leave. Let him think he's building something legitimate on the side. Let him think he has options. Because the more control you give him, the more he'll believe he's still a person instead of a tool. And the more he believes that, the less he'll fight you. I'm speaking the language of his world now. I'm doing what his uncle does, calculating people like chess pieces, using their emotions as leverage, turning love into a weapon. And I see the exact moment Jun-seo understands what I just did. He understands that I'm making a choice. I'm choosing to stay, choosing to be complicit, choosing to become part of his world. Not because he dragged me into it, but because I'm doing it willingly. And that makes it worse. That makes my complicity absolute. His uncle holsters his gun. You know what? I like her, he says. Bring her to Seoul. Introduce her to the organization. Show them that you finally accepted what you are. He leaves the porch, and Linda comes out of the house with a bag of things for me. Fresh clothes, a passport, documents that I don't look at too closely. What just happened? Jun-seo asks. You got your out, I tell him. I made sure of it. At what cost? We don't talk about the cost yet. Not until we're safe. We're in Jun-seo's apartment in Seoul, and I'm looking out at a city that's completely foreign, and I'm realizing that I just committed my entire life to a man who might be the most dangerous person I know. The apartment is on the 42nd floor of a building that costs more than I could earn in a lifetime. It's cold and minimalist, and has a gun safe in the closet. Jun-seo is on the phone with his uncle, speaking in Korean, and I'm understanding maybe half of it, which is exactly how I like it. Not enough to be fully complicit, just enough to understand the danger. When he hangs up, he looks destroyed. He wants us to get married, Jun-seo says, here in Korea, within the month, so the organization can see that you're official, that you're legitimate. Okay, I say. What do you mean, okay? I mean, okay, we'll get married. You don't want to marry me? No, I agree. I don't, but I'm going to anyway, because that's the only way this works. That's the only way your uncle believes you're committed. That's the only way you get to actually leave this life at some point. I walk to the window and look out at Seoul, at a city that's going to be my prison now. That's going to be my new home. That's going to define the rest of my existence. I gave up everything, I say quietly. My job, my apartment, my friends, my sister, my life. I gave up all of it. And you're asking me if I want to marry you? Yes, Jun-seo, I'll marry you. I'll do whatever it takes, because the only other option is that all of this was for nothing. This is the moment where she gives up. This is the moment where she stops fighting and starts surrendering. And the worst part? She's not doing it because he's forcing her. She's doing it because she loves him. She's doing it because love is the cruelest, most powerful drug in the world. And once you're addicted, you'll destroy yourself to keep the person you're addicted to alive. If you've ever loved someone that much, if you know what it means to give up your entire self, subscribe right now. Because you're not alone in this, and your pain is valid. And you need to know that you're going to be okay eventually, even though it doesn't feel like it right now. There's a knock at the door. It's a woman, early 30s, Korean, wearing the kind of outfit that suggests she's important. She enters the apartment like she owns it, and Jun-seo's face goes pale. Hello, Jun-seo, she says. I'm Detective Park. I've been investigating your organization for 3 years, and I'm here to make you an offer that will change everything. She looks at me. Miss Maya, right? Did my colleagues explain the situation properly? Or did Jun-seo's uncle forget to mention that there's already a federal investigation in place? That there's already a prosecutor building a case? That everything Jun-seo has been doing in Korea, all of it, is being documented by law enforcement? The apartment suddenly feels very small. What is this? Jun-seo asks. This is your actual choice, Detective Park says. Not your uncle's choice. Not your mother's choice. Yours. You can testify against the organization, work with us, bring down your uncle, and walk away clean. Or you can keep pretending you're building an exit strategy and watch Maya become collateral damage when this organization finally falls. This is it. This is the moment where he has to choose between the family business and the woman he loves, between power and freedom. And for the first time in this entire story, it's a real choice. Not his uncle's choice, not his mother's choice. His. If you want to know what he does, if you want to see whether he finally chooses her, subscribe right now and hit the notification bell, because the next chapter is where everything changes and you won't want to miss it.